Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to Cooking with Pouncy. Today I'm going to do a cheesesteak stuffed pepper for you, or should I say for my wife and I want you to watch along if you will. And this recipe comes from delish.com. She texted me from her office the other day and wanted me to do this recipe for her, and again I'm going to make that recipe tonight. So guys, the only variation I'm going to do in this recipe is my choice of meat. And so I'll be doing everything it tells me to do, or tried to tell me to do, because I kind of like to do my own thing anyway. But anyway, it's going to be delicious. My choice of meat is going to be my steak of choice. And I'm using here a ribeye, and it indicates that I have to slice it in little pieces and saute it along with my onions and mushrooms. So I'm going to be using my steak. I've got an onion that's already peeled here. I've got my mushrooms already brushed off, if you will. I don't wash my mushrooms. I soak them in water, and perhaps you don't either. And I'm going to use about a tablespoon of oil. I'm going to use a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of regular salt, some coarse ground pepper, and some Italian seasoning. So I've got Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, and garlic salt, and a little oil to start this whole process off. I'm going to have my pan heating in just a minute here, and just for the sake of starting the process here, these steaks have been pretty much trimmed here pretty good. So I will take a little bit of any other residual fat that I don't want on there off, and that's about it that I'm going to take off. And I'm going to slice this down the middle, and I want my little pieces like that as I start to braise my meat off, and in my hot pan in order to stuff my peppers. But you'll be with me throughout the process, and I'm hoping, just like you are, if you make this dish that I got from recipe delish.com, and then we'll go from there. So okay guys, get my mushrooms sliced up here, and get those ready for my onions. I'm going to, another variation I'm going to do here guys, as I do my vegetables up here, is I'm going to let my range fan just came on. Let me, guys, that annoying fan is on because that's what it's supposed to do, so I'm not going to worry about the fan coming on. So, anyway, I've got my peppers all cored out, as you can see here, I think. Got my peppers ready. And there's a lot of color here. And again, another variation I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to sear or braise my meat off prior to. The recipe calls for doing the onions and the mushrooms first, but we like our vegetables al dente. And guys, I don't have to wash this knife. I'm going to rinse it because I haven't touched any. Bear with me for a second. I haven't touched any meat or protein with it. So anyway, I'm not cross-contaminating by doing this with the onions. So I'm going to slice my onions as I take my glasses off because I can't see. Anyway, we like our vegetables al dente, and the recipe actually calls for pre-cooking those green peppers for 30 minutes at 325. And again, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave them in about 15 minutes at 325. Here's my onions and mushrooms, of course. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil to my pan here, and that's going to be to sear or braise my meat, as I indicated. Okay, guys. So again, the recipe calls for a tablespoon of oil. I'm going to put a little bit more in there because I've got more meat in my recipe here, if you will. So I got about another fourth of a teaspoon of oil. Of course, the meat itself will have some fat in it too. So here's my meat that's all sliced up, as you can see, and that's going to be some good stuff. Okay, so I've got that all ready to go in. Oil. Again, that's a tablespoon and a fourth 1 or 4 tablespoons. And the difference is, again, I'm using ribeye instead of whatever the steak was that was called for in the recipe. And as soon as I get this nice and brown, I'm going to season here right now too, but as soon as I get it nice and brown, I'm going to add my onions and mushrooms. And again, the reason I'm doing it this way is because I like my vegetables al dente, so by the time this is 3/4 done or better, I'll then add my mushrooms and my onions. And I'm going to put a little salt and pepper in here now to taste. A little salt and pepper to taste. I'm not doing it too heavy. I'll taste it again before it's all brown and stuff. A little pepper, coarse ground black pepper I'm using. And I've got a little garlic, because we like a little garlic flavor. So I've got garlic salt here. Not too much, I hope you can see that. Not too much. And the last thing I'm going to put on, when this is all brown and ready to do its thing, is my Italian seasoning. And I'll be doing that, again, once this thing gets to be brown where I want it, okay? And I can already tell I'm going to need a little more salt and pepper for flavor. I've been doing this cooking business for a long time, and I know I need a little more salt. A little more salt. Still not too much. And pepper. Now I'm going to put, while this is braising or getting seared, I'm going to put my peppers in the oven for about 15 minutes. At 325. Now here are my peppers, as you saw. I think you saw me core them and take the core out. So I'm going to put those in here just to get them a little tender. The recipe calls for 30 minutes. But again, guys, you can get this recipe from delish.com, it's called, okay? With the entire recipe, and you don't have to worry about my silly variations that I'm doing here. But again, I think it's a great recipe. I like what I saw in the recipe. And so that's why I'm making it. Okay, guys, this meat is about ready to go here. And I'll just kind of tilt it up and let you see that. And this smells scrumptious. It really does. And it's really, really tender. So I'm going to now add my onions and mushrooms. I just wanted to have you take a gander at that, what that looks like. It's not a big deal, obviously, but they're all ready to go here. I'm going to add my onions and mushrooms. Again, the recipe calls for these to go in first. I'm going to just toss these in there gingerly. Got my heat on medium high. And now with the juices that's left in here that's going to finish cooking this, I'm going to turn my heat down to about medium, as this did. And I'll just let that do its thing here as the mushrooms and onions get tender. And of course not soggy. It's looking good. It's looking good. I did not add any more salt or pepper. The meat was very tasty. I tasted a piece of it, of course. And this whole process here, once this gets done, guys, as the recipe indicates, as I deviate from it, the peppers are in the oven, getting tender. That's looking good. First time I've made this before, like I said. And that's kind of what it looks like right now. Again, it smells scrumptious. Okay? So, that's what's going to happen. The green peppers are going to be coming out here. And then we'll get those things stuffed, and you'll see that process is just about ready. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of my Italian seasoning on here. And I'm going to get that all mixed up. Stir it up there. Again, my variations with this recipe, as I'm trying to follow it, maybe not to the letter, I think it would be also good with a little Leon Parent or Worcestershire sauce. My wife frowned at me when I said that, but I think she'd be okay if I tried it. But not in this dish. I told her I was going to follow the recipe. Okay? And the vegetables look good. They're not overcooked. And that's how I want it. Alright? And green pepper is going to be about another 5 minutes. Alright, guys. So I just took my peppers out. And they are definitely al dente. Here's my cheese. I've got several slices here. And each pepper is going to have a slice of cheese. I did put that one slice in that one pepper. The pepper's very hot, 325 degrees, cooking. And I did mold that one piece of cheese down into it. I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of them. But that cheese is holding up pretty good. It's not like melting off before I can get it in there, which I thought might happen. So that's what we're gonna do here. I think you might be able to see this. Oh, yes, you can see that. So I'm just laying my cheese in there, and each one of them, and this is real hot. That's how I know that. I just tested it. But anyway, I'm okay. So as I do each one of these, and what I'm doing is just kind of making a cup out of the cheese anyway, as it forms like that, and then I just kind of put that little cup down in there. Maybe that's what they wanted us to do to begin with, and I had to start second guessing them like I always do, and it's not my recipe. But anyway, so here we go again with my little cup-like deal, and I'm putting it in there, and the pepper, and again, shortly, that mixture of onions and green peppers and meat is going to go right in the center of it. And they're looking pretty good. The cheese is melting, but not faster than I can get it in here, so I'm going to be about ready to spoon that meat in there and put another slice of cheese on the very top. And that's what I'm going to do here shortly, okay? So, hang in there, guys. I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, so get these stuffed, if you will. My little meaty deal with onions and mushrooms. And as you can see, again, the other slice of provolone is going to go right on the very top of this whole concoction here. I'm trying to get as much meat in each one of them as I can. My wife likes meat, and so do I. That meat is very, very good. It's very tender as well. So it's going to look kind of messy, I think, as I'm thinking through it, because that cheese is going to kind of melt and ooze down along the side. But that's what it's supposed to do. So we won't worry about that. So I'm gonna again put that slice of cheese on here, and this is our cheese process here. Guys, I'm telling you, I got about as much meat in these things as I could. And I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be good. So we'll just drape our cheese on there. And these are going to go under the broiler, as I indicated. Just get that cheese melted and maybe a little bit of color on it. And we can put a little bit more meat on that little guy on the end there, in case my wife gets that when it doesn't have enough meat on it. I'm the same way, guys. I'm not picking on her. I love her to death. She likes this meat too, and so do I. So anyway, here goes the last piece of cheese, and it's going to go in the broiler. I've got my broiler on, and so that's what they look like right now. So I'm going to put them in the broiler position, and we'll see what happens in a little bit, guys. Going in right now. Going in. Okay. I'm guessing 3 minutes. The recipe did say 3 minutes. We'll see what happens in 3 minutes. Okay, guys. And away we go. Well, they look pretty good. Taste test, of course, yet to come. But they're actually looking pretty good. They're looking very good. Again, there might be some variations, more variations that I would do, like a little Liam parents if I wanted to. Another episode of preparing this dish. But that essentially is what it's going to look like. And again, if you go to the recipe from delish.com, you can find the exact recipe and do what you need to do with your own recipe and make it yours. Again, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, Cooking with Ponce. Please do share this video and let me know what you think. I appreciate you watching, and thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.